everybody? Welcome to another episode of the James Loud Podcast. And today, our special guest is Craig Satori from Talking Trees. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Great to be here and hang out.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. I see you at a lot of events. It seems like you're at a lot of events. We were just at MJ together, GD60 in Golden Gate Park. I saw you walking around. I don't think we talked, or if we did, it was for a very short amount of time, but you were there. Canifest, definitely. And a number of other events this year. So
yeah. Got to get to them. Got to be out there.
Yeah. And then you're busy with a bunch of stuff. You do nursery. I mean, I see you. We were just at Terpnomi also over the weekend. You had your clones there. There was only a handful of us with clones. You had clones there, and
yeah.
And I hear a lot about all these other stuff and other things that you do. It's funny because when I was talking to people at Canifest on people that I should have on my podcast, your name came up about a dozen times.
Okay.
So I'm glad we got you.
Awesome.
Here.
Yeah. Well, stoked to be here.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. How did you get started in all this?
Oh man. That's a fun story. I came to San Francisco for skateboarding because when I was young, like skateboarding was my passion. And so I came to California in 96, met my buddy who's a pro skater back then. And, he was like already growing. And so we wound up moving in together. And so, I was like, yeah, I want to grow some weed. And he was doing a really good job back then, all organic, just focused on like producing the best flower possible.
Awesome.
And so this was like in the avenues out by Fort Miley in San Francisco. So in like 98, we had like a 4-lighter in a 1-bedroom apartment where we slept in the living room together and blew up that bedroom. And so that was kind of like where I started growing, was in San Francisco. And then being in San Francisco, I learned about Humboldt, and then some buddies from Georgia, where I grew up, brought me up to Humboldt, and that's kind of like where it all unfolded.
Yeah, it's one of those places you go up too many times and you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
So, but San Francisco back in the 90s was a great place to grow for multiple reasons. There was somewhat cool about growing and about smoking weed outside, more so than other places in the state, but also the temperature. It didn't get too hot. It didn't get too cold. It was kind of the perfect storm for indoor cultivation. We were just starting to get indoor filtration, like air filtration, charcoal filters.
Yeah, those came in about 2 years after we started growing, because that was the most stressful part. We're in an apartment, and it's around harvest time, and it is dank. I mean, it is smelling. And one good story, or not a good story, but what happened is like it smelled so much that we're like, dude, we got to cover the smell. So I got some Nag Champa incense. And we're like, all right, we're going to cover the smell of this Nag Champa. Then we would go to smoke the weed, and the weed tastes like Nag Champa. It totally ruined our weed.
That's the worst.
And then like a year or two later, the carbon filters came out, and it was like game changer. Like totally grow anywhere.
Yeah, you could literally grow anywhere as long as you sealed the room properly. There was a limit to how good they would work if you didn't have a sealed room. But if you were able to seal your room properly, get your airflow dialed in, man, it was a game changer. Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of game changing things that happened in the 90s with cultivation. We had we went from wing lights to air cooled lights, where we had like the 4-inch, and then it went to the 6-inch air cooled. And these were game changers for us back then. It was like mind blowing. We grew in these octagon systems too. They had like the tube where you'd put the 1,000-watt bulbs in the tube, and so that cooled it down. And we grew, instead of having 6 plants, 9 plants, or 16, we had literally 2 rows of 13 for each one. And then sometimes on the end, we'd put a plant, and we were getting huge yields back then, similar to what people are getting today. And it was very archaic compared to the growing conditions today.
Yeah. The octagon was it had its moment. Everybody was switching over to the octagons back then.
Totally. And when we were scared of the carbon footprint, we were scared of like the helicopters and being able to see with infrared. So it was like, well, it's a less of a footprint. It's safer, all these things. And we were getting good yields, but you had to grow the right strain. It wasn't like anything would just work in there. And
yeah.
A lot of fun stuff back then.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's funny to think about that. Yeah. I forgot having to run the ducting between all the lights and.
Oh yeah. Lots of ducting, lots of ducting, lots of Home Depot trips, and back then we were all carpenters. We were electricians. We had to do it all ourselves, or maybe we had a buddy that did the electrical work, that worked for the Park Service. Yeah. And he would come in and do our electrical, and he kind of worked with everybody, but like building out tables, we did all that ourselves.
Totally. Yeah.
So framing, all this stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yep. And that was like the era when you were kind of like scared to be seen at a grocery store. You know,
Right.
you're like, I'd moved to Arcata. And so I was like, there was like 1 or 2 hydro stores. And we're like, you'd send in the, like, you know, friends or people that didn't have anything like in stake on the grow to like go to the grow store for you because you didn't want to be followed from the grow store to the grow.
Yeah, we literally used to drive up to Ukiah to the Garden Spout to get our Dutch pots. The $5 a piece for a square pot.
Yeah.
You know, that should cost $1, but they're bringing them over from Holland that they were using for like cut flowers and stuff like that.
And back then we were throwing away our trim.
Yeah, totally. The trim would get
like
thrown
wild.
away. We were one of the first groups, or my friends were one of the first ones that figured out, okay, we could make money off this, and everyone would give us their trim for free. So it was great. We were making bubble hash and we were doing ice. Even before bubble bags, we used silk screens and stirred it in a 5-gallon. I mean, it was
I did the same. Yeah.
Very rough, but like the quality was really good even still.
Yeah. Yeah. I just ordered the silk screens because they were so much bigger than like, I think BC bubble bags were out when I started making hash already, but like it was just such a small mesh on the bottom of the bags that he was making. So it was like, oh, I need more mesh. And so we would just buy big squares of silk screen.
Same. Yeah. I can't remember the guy who taught us how to do it, but it was pretty wild with the silk screen tech. And then even like before static, just shaking the dry keef through them and cleaning them up. And I mean, there's so many interesting things that evolved into the technology that we have today, but so many people did things like completely different. I mean, the butane extraction where they're open blasting, that was a big thing for a while.
Yeah. I never got into any of that. I was always just kept it to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I loved water. And we even dried it out on the silk screen. Like literally I was told that we had to dry it out on the silk screen. We didn't know you could take it off and leave it out. But yeah.
Yeah. Before, I guess I'd say Nicotee is the one who really popularized the freeze dryers. I was using a food dehydrator just to like get it to dry out quicker.
Yeah.
But that totally made the color much darker than the air dry or the freeze dry.
Totally. The freeze dry was a game changer.
Yeah, huge game changer.
I mean, but even if you had the right environment and you dried it out on those silk screens or even on parchment, you could get really high quality products. Still, like good product in equals good product out. And
totally.
You know, the better quality stuff, it's like some of that stuff smoked amazing, but we got different shades of orange and red and, you know, obviously the normal colors of hash, like the browns and the light tans and stuff like that. But like now it's like the stuff is so light. I mean, the 6-star hash is incredible still. We've had that around for like 15 years, something like that. Nicotee coined that term, solventless in like 2011, 2012. I was so annoyed by it. I'm like, water is like the universal solvent. I can't believe you're calling it solventless. But now it's totally changed the game. The term solventless changed the game. And also just the way they were producing stuff is like dabbable hash that doesn't leave residue.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. And now it's kind of where the concentrate world is. I mean, rosin is king.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosin and that 6-star bubble. And I still love bubble hash. I still love smoking bubble hash. I love the Piatella. The guys that are crushing the Piatella that take the time to do it properly. And I think not every cultivar works with Piatella. So like it's only a handful of them that'll really melt out like the properly for Piatella. Mm-hmm. Skittles is one of them. Our Skittles Piatella is just so good.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Skittles anything.
6 months Skittles anything. And it has great terps.
Yeah.
You know, and now lemon's the new terp.
Yep.
So lemon's like hot right now.
And then Tangy comes and goes. It's like those oranges come and go.
Well, Super Boof brings Tangy in for the people that didn't even like Tangy.
Exactly.
Well, we had Tropicana cookies, which was Tangy and cookies.
Okay.
You know, it was like forbidden fruitish.
Right.
That was good. But like, I love these flavors that come in and out. But a lot of stuff we saw back in the 90s and we're seeing them again now today. It's like, or different versions of them.
Yep. Trends come and go.
Yep.
And recycle in almost every fashion and industry, it seems like.
Yeah, well, it's funny, like in the skateboarding world, how often is a new trick created? You know, I mean, a lot of stuff's been done before. It's pretty rare.
Yeah. All those skaters these days, it's insane. Dude.
Yeah.
Like it's time for skater of the year and like the list and the guys in contention for it. It's just like mind boggling the stuff they're doing.
The quality of, well, and even the quality of video has gotten better. So now it's like this stuff, because I remember back in the day with the VHS tapes, and there were some really amazing VHS tapes. Yep. And these guys, you know, on the equipment they had back then, it's pretty impressive because the stuff today is obviously the quality of the film is amazing, 8K and 4K and stuff like that. But
yeah, it used to be like totally different world. Yeah, just skating around with these cameras and then having to do all the editing and kind of lower quality. 8mm film was really popular for a bit. Now it's just like videos just come out like that. Skateboarding. There's like no huge video release anymore. It's just constant.
And everyone online. It's all going online. Yeah,
it's all
wild.
just online. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not having to buy the VHS. I still have a stack of like VHS tapes.
Yeah, me too.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, snowboarding too. It's wild. Snowboarding's another one. It's like, it's pretty wild how far it's come from where it was in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. One cool thing is in 2001, I brought skateboarding to Jamaica.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was, as a marketing ploy, but also as a, something cool to do. My brother was living there. And, so I got a bunch of other companies together and all the pro skaters that I was friends with and rode for Satori. And we took like 27 people to Jamaica. We sent 150 complete skateboards, like 120 brand new pairs of shoes and all this gear that got donated.
Yep.
And I was like 2001, I was probably 22 years old. So I wasn't that versed in like freight and customs and trying to get 7 pallets of goods over to Jamaica.
Wow.
And not have to pay too much money. But it wound up being a really cool, life-changing experience for almost everybody on that trip. Like we built 2 ramps on the different sides of the island and did like a big demo down the road from Bob Marley's house on Hope Road. And that was one of the coolest things in skateboarding I've done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamaica is an amazing place too for cannabis, and the cannabis skating crossover. There's a lot of skaters that smoke.
Yeah. And thankfully the cannabis in Jamaica has gotten a lot better over the last 20 years because they just didn't have the infrastructure and know how to dry it. And like,
it all had sticks and seeds.
Yeah.
It was cheap, and it would get you high.
Yeah.
The stuff over there definitely would get you more high than some of the other islands.
Totally.
But yeah, the quality's gotten a lot better over there. And I first started going over to Jamaica in 2000. And I couldn't find good flour. I brought my own flour. Literally brought an ounce over there. But I really wanted to see like Jamaican landrace. Yeah. And so I ended up giving nugs out to, first I bought a bunch, couldn't find it. So I was giving nugs to people one of the guys that worked at the resort, I'm like, the guy who you get weed from, tell him to bring me back something good. This is what we get. This is what I got here. And he came back with hash, but finally just rolled up some spliffs. They had some spliffs of some incredible Orange Hill.
Oh, nice.
And so strong. Made me pass out like 9 a.m.
Really? Wow, that's cool.
So with skating, how have you seen the cannabis and skating work together over the last year, and has it evolved?
Not so much. I think like when Satori first started, we were like the stoner brand, and like there was us and then there was iPath shoes. And so there was like this whole stigma, and like we would show up and have weed all the time or even mushrooms back then. And now it's like everybody just has it. So it's not like that cool stigma. It's just kind of like normalized. But then also like skateboarding's become more of a sport where like, back then dudes weren't like working out to like be a better skater and stuff. So like, I think it's just kind of some people vibe with cannabis that are skaters, and some skaters just like don't really, they were just trying to be like the best skateboarder they can be.
Right.
So I think it's just kind of like normalized in a sense where it's not like the stigma of like, whoa, those are the stoner guys, like skaters. Like a lot of people smoke cannabis and skateboard these days.
It seems like they smoke cannabis.
But it's not made like a big deal. Like it was kind of like made a big deal. Like everyone was always like, the Satori iPath guys, bunch of stoners. Like, well, okay. But now like anyone can be a stoner, and it's more accepted.
It's more normal. Yeah. Like it's almost weird if you're not smoking or not a smoker.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting scene. The cannabis scene has been getting crushed lately. I've seen people quitting. I've seen people suffering, a lot of suffering. You're up in Humboldt. It's like more so there than anywhere, especially Emerald Triangle, that should be killing it. They should be killing it more than anybody. They're the ones that deserve it the most, in my opinion. California in general, but especially Emerald Triangle, kind of putting us on the map. Guys going big, going to prison, dying, all the other things that came along with that, getting to the point where we're legalized, and then they're the ones that are hurting the most.
Yep. Yeah. We're struggling up there. It's like, just trying to get by is not easy, especially when the price of fresh pounds is like in the 200s range right now. And then we're so overtaxed, the permitting fees, the county fees, the state fees, the insurance. It's like, how can you grow a $200 pound and be a viable business and make money when you're getting taxed out out the wazoo for everything you do.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that the prices dropped cheaper than it was to buy Mexican weed back in the day. And the dollar has lost its value.
Yeah.
With inflation, it should be more expensive.
Right. Yeah. Cost of power is going up every 6 months or something, like it's almost not viable to grow indoor at all.
Right.
If you're on PG&E power.
Right. At 49 cents a kilowatt, it's really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I stay out of cultivation. I have cultivation partners. I love that. I do genetics. I love the genetics. I love the podcasting, but like cultivation is not the lane I want to be in right now.
Yep.
And it's because it's so hard to make money. And the guys that are doing it really well, there's a handful of people making really good money. Like Dave from Preferred Gardens, he's doing really, really well. And I love the fact that, he's promoting outdoor and mixed light and doing really good greenhouse, top shelf flower grown in with mixed light that he's putting on the market for a good price.
Nice.
But there's a lot of indoor guys that are struggling. So many.
Yeah. I mean, I had a buyer come up from LA last week to Humboldt and he's like, got any indoor? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, we're like 900 range, right? He's like, oh man, I'm buying fire. I'll show you some fire indoor. I'm getting for $550. I'm like, for $550?
It's crazy.
I mean, we can't even produce it that's about the cost to produce it.
Well, so the guys that are doing the double stacks with the under canopy lighting, a lot of those guys are pushing like 4 pounds of light.
Yeah.
Right. And so their price per pound goes down significantly. They're in that $275 range.
Yeah. It also depends on where you're getting your power from. Like Sacramento has way cheap power.
Right.
There's certain areas, Shasta, like
certain pockets where the power's way cheaper.
Way cheaper.
And so that makes sense for indoor cultivation. And then the guys that are going at scale that are pulling 4 pounds of light, but then the quality typically isn't as good. It's like the more they try to push that, the more the larfy the buds are a lot of times, or they're using PGRs. I mean, even legal PGRs, right? Like PGRs technically in metric are illegal, but there's ways around it. There's a bunch of things that people are doing.
Yeah.
But I like the fire. And this time of year is like the best for outdoor. Like Terpnami I think the flower at Terpnami was better last year, to be 100% honest. But this year I saw incredible stuff. Guys are coming out of the hills with new genetics, new things. I got to see root beer for the first time from Mean Gene.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, his root beer it's different. It's not exactly what I thought, but the extract, his rosin was like incredible. The flower seems like it's okay. I'm going to smoke it tomorrow. I've been giving my lungs a little break over the weekend. It was a little crazy. So
yeah, I got some great fresh flower from the harvest, some new
awesome.
phenos that we hunted, and had a good season.
Really cool. Yeah, I think it was a good year for growing. Mark from Green Chalk, who's my favorite cultivator in the state, he did really, really well this year and all kinds of gassy stuff. He used to be in Mendo and now he's in Grass Valley.
Yeah, no, Mark, yeah.
Yeah, he's solid. His stuff is amazing. So.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, actually turned off my lights. I'm only growing sun-grown right now, and even took the clear plastic off my greenhouses.
Wow.
So I'm just running, because I'm off-grid. So I have 8 greenhouses. I run 4 as depths, and the other 4 I'm just running as full season these days.
Wow.
To minimize overhead.
Sure.
And I got my generator on a timer and my watering is on a timer. So my generator comes on for an hour, depths close, water shoots on, waters all the beds, depths go up, generator turns off.
Wow.
And that's saving me like about $20,000 a season just in diesel fuel.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this year, every penny counts. Literally every penny counts. And you're also vertically integrated. So you have your own shop. Yep. And you're doing your own cultivation, which is, I think that's the model. That's the place to be if you want to be successful in the market, is try to be vertically integrated or as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I can't sell all the weed I grow through my own store, but sure. it definitely helps having a store. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also have like a whole new focus. Like I think you just got to think of new ways to survive. So like I'm opening up a lane because I have a nursery as well. Yeah. Of selling teen plants to retail stores. Awesome. So this spring, I already got about 20 stores signed on. February through July, going to do a whole push to like just crush selling teen plants to retail stores so consumers can buy their 6 plants to grow themselves. Yeah. And I'm going to start doing like a whole video and educational things on like how they can be successful in growing their own plants. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm hoping that's going to be a good path.
I think it's amazing. I think that's a great way to go, especially because there's less time to fuck the plants up for the home grower that's not that experienced. Yep. And if you can give them a little leg up, like they're going to get better results. They're only going to want to do that then. Yeah. You know, it's like if you can take a week or two off of their work,
Exactly. It's so worth it.
it's so worth it.
And it's where all the complications come in the clone form mostly, you
Right.
know. And then when they're in the like 3-inch pot, it's really hard to overwater.
Yeah.
So just teach them from that transplanting that 3-inch pot into whatever size medium they're doing to graduate it. Don't overwater, don't overwater, don't overwater. Right. And
well, that's the biggest problem too, is overwatering in the beginning, especially for guys that are hand watering and they want to, you know, it's like if you overwater in the beginning, you can overwater a little more in flower. It's a little more forgiving.
Oh yeah.
But having a plant in veg, when you're transplanting, you definitely want that oxygen getting to the roots. Those roots are able to take off. There's not as much pressure on the roots.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great way to do it. I love the RTF model for these farms too, to where they, you know, you can sell clones to them that are ready to flip. Boom, boom, boom. It's easier. If they have pest problems, it's not as big of a deal.
Yep.
Especially if your clones are clean. It's just such a better situation.
Yeah, I'm selling more and more ready to plant 3-inch pots to farms as well.
Nice.
Too. So it's kind of like my universal mode of like where we're going with the nursery is to yeah.
It takes a lot of space. That's why most people can't do it. It's like, that's why we can't do it. We're a nursery as well, but like I don't have the infrastructure to be able to do ready to flip plants, but I can always refer them to you.
Yeah.
So.
I have 7,000 square feet for the nursery. So
that's awesome.
We usually like to try to get the teens out like within a week.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, they start growing pretty quick.
Nice.
So as soon as they get into soil, you know, they harden off and are pretty stable within a week. And then it's like, let's just get them out, get to retail. So it takes a lot of planning. I mean, you know, we're planning right now and momming up for stuff that's going to be delivering and for orders for gardens in April, May.
Yeah.
So it just takes a lot. I don't think people realize how much time and planning it takes to like get 10,000 plants to a farm.
Yeah.
On time when they need them.
Most people have no idea what it takes. Like well, and it's hard to even comprehend unless you're doing it and you've been there. It's like even doing seed runs where you have multiple seed runs in a facility. Like we have charts where it's like, okay, this week we got to do this, this, and this. In this room, we got to do this, this, and this. And it's like, it's all staggered. So we're not doing any one pollination at one time.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot of organization.
In a whole other complexity when you're doing it with the genetics and from seed. And all the pheno hunting and
then make sure that we're not pheno hunting and doing seed runs and accidental seed runs and stuff like that, because that could happen as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned that the hard way one time. Like I got all these seeds, you know, everybody's collecting seeds. And my guys were helping run the nursery and they got over ambitious and popped like 20 packs at once.
Oh, wow.
Like, dude, there's no way we're going to be able to manage this. Like we can't sort through all this stuff at one time. You got to do like 3 at the most.
Yeah. I mean, we're about to start pheno hunting in tents to prove our own gear and basically flipping from clone. So we'll germinate the seeds. We grow them out, take a clone, either first or second generation of the clone. And then we're just going to go right from clone, flip the lights. We can fit a lot more in a tent. So we can pheno hunt on a larger scale. Cause it's just not cost effective how we're doing it now with 60 lights. It's just so expensive. And most people have no idea what pheno hunting costs, like the real cost of it, because it's not like you can go sell a pound of this or a pound of that. You're getting one plant. Blue Dream crosses, you might get a half pound of plant.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like most of them are like less than that.
Totally. Yeah. I'm about to do a pheno hunt myself. So we got 53 different strains and phenos going into this hunt. And so we're just mom them up, take, try to get about 14 cuts off of each one.
Nice.
And then once those are rooted, we're going to put 3 of each pheno in genetic in the R&D.
Yeah.
So it's like a row, basically 4-foot bed. So 3 across. Yeah. And then we got to keep the phenos around by the other extra clones and grow those up to be, the next generation of moms. And then wait, the 60 days to see which ones are the winners. And then you got to keep and cull. And it's a whole process. It's a lot of fun. I love that part of it. Me
too. I get excited finding new stuff, but also there's just so much work that goes into it. And then, so we're going to put everything through TC. So it all goes in nodal tissue culture.
Yeah.
So we can save space, because if you have a pheno hunt of 300, you have to keep 300 plants alive. Right. Exactly, and so instead we're going to have 300 dishes, which is way more convenient. Yeah. And then as we go through stuff that we don't like, we get rid of the Petri dish.
Yep.
So, and you have to have somebody in the lab that knows what they're doing, which is great. And that's actually cheaper than having the infrastructure for all those lights.
Totally. Yeah. I was planning on putting a tissue culture in my nursery as well, but just the financing and the money put that on hold. But I had one of my employees was being like trained through like a guy that does mushroom tissue cultures and studying the cannabis tissue culturing as well. So it's a great way to preserve genetics. I don't think it's the way to like produce plants to grow for a farm. I think it's just great for preserving and then using those tissue cultures for mobs and then taking cuts.
And there's places like Conception that I think they do it really well. But to be a Conception, the amount of infrastructure and the amount of money that goes into being a company like that, you know, it's like I'm doing some projects with them and I think they're doing some really interesting things, but it's not financially feasible or just even, you know, getting that going and the amount of time that it takes. It's a lot of time, but I also just like clones. I like Gen 1s. We have Gen 0 moms that come from tissue culture, but I like the way the Gen 1 moms perform, and they perform a lot like tissue culture plants. But they perform in the sense that they're vigorous, but they grow very evenly and there's less issues right out the gate. Yep. So whereas Gen 0s, they kind of stretch and, you know, by the end they even out and they look great. But I like, for myself, I like the Gen 1s.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. With your breeding, are you guys mostly doing regular seeds or a lot of feminized?
95% of what I do is feminized, right? And 5% I do at my house every year. Typically every year I do a seed run and it's regulars. And I like making reg seeds. I like breeding with reg seeds, but I don't want regular pollen in the building that has male, female. If there is some sort of cross contamination, at least it's feminized and it's minimized, right? So that's the one big thing with the facility. I have to be concerned about cross contamination. Even the smallest amount of cross contamination from regular pollen could ruin somebody's crop, you know, especially if
big time,
you know, we're making millions of seeds a year. So you put those outdoors and man, that could be really bad for them. You know, it's like they could want to grow some flower and now they're forced to put it into extract.
When you're femming like a project, how many things are you usually putting it on?
We do way more than what we need because we breed like 300 new things a year, new outcrosses.
Wow.
But, and then we'll only sell a percentage of those stuff that I know is proven. Everything that we sell is typically proven. So we grow it out, make sure it's good, make sure it doesn't harm, have issues. But then we do a lot of stuff for R&D for the future. I still have stuff from 5 years ago that we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what happens with a lot of breeders. It's like we make all these seeds and then there's a percentage of them we sell and then percentage of them that we save. And in my lifetime, hopefully we'll get around to like germinating some of them, or we find some interesting trait that we're looking for. And we're like, well, we know there's some stuff in this line that we made. Let's go through those, you know, and we back up all our work. So doing, you know, when we're doing inbreeding with the autos, it's all inbreeding. Now we pretty much have our lines and we're just inbreeding, going out there. And auto flowers are surprisingly more popular than they were last year and the year before. So this was a good year for autos.
Yeah. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think done correctly, they're great if you're doing them correctly. And they're, you know, I think I coined the term specific use cultivar. And I think a lot of people are going to be breeding, like myself, specific use cultivars for washing, autoflowers for row crops, right? For extraction. And some of the guys they'll take the tops off and they'll use the bottoms for extraction. Totally. Right. And you can get three runs a year, sometimes 4 in certain places. So if you're getting the same or more per acre as far as flower weight, why wouldn't you want to do 4 crops per year? And I think there's benefit to it. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely for certain people, especially like guys that want to grow plants like tomatoes, guys coming into ag that have experience with other forms of agriculture. Autoflowers grow like a great row crop, just like all the other row crops. Whereas cannabis is very specific, especially once you start getting into bigger plants. The bigger you get, the less like anything in agriculture it mimics.
Yeah, totally.
Especially those dudes like in Mendo, they grow like the 20-foot tall plants, and it's wild.
That's what you have to use. You used to have to grow like that because, you know, it was the federal limit was 100 plants. So everybody wanted to keep it 99 or under. Yeah. And so when you can only grow 99 plants, you want to grow 99 huge plants. Right.
The bigger, the better. Yeah. And it was like literally the bigger, the better. And then cages. Some guys would have like 3 or 4 layers of cages that the plants would go through.
Yep. I had those plants. Yeah.
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 Yeah. We had Loud
I don't
Mountain.
miss not having to grow up such big plants anymore. I like being able to throw 1,000 plants in a greenhouse. Totally. And grow up more like an indoor.
I like the quality of the smaller plants. I mean, you can get great quality on some big plants too.
Yeah, totally.
Depending on the farmer, and you amend the soil properly, and you know, some of these living soil guys grow crazy, incredible, sticky. We were talking about Mark from Green Chalk.
Yep.
He's another one that just grows incredible flower. And this time of year, it's all I want to smoke, even though there's great indoor and I'll smoke a little bit of that. We're testing out our Roll Pros machine with all the different cultivars. And some of the outdoor stuff is like so sticky, it barely gets through the grinder.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some really gassy, greasy stuff.
I love that. Yeah.
It just leaves your lips like sticking. I love that.
Oh yeah. Where like the resin literally makes your lips stick together and you'll get resin ring on your lip.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a few of those.
Nice. So as far as genetics, what are you excited about right now?
Man, just always trying something new. Like, we're actually trying to fem the Skittles right now and cross it to a bunch of stuff that we have.
Don't do it.
She's being a little bitch. It's in the process of happening right now.
So
it took 2 tries to get her to.
Honestly, what I would do is go get the genetics from Lempire, where it's the Skittles traits that are good are reinforced a little more.
Yeah.
Pop some of his seeds, find a good one, and reverse that, and you're probably going to get better results than working with the original Skittles, because a lot of that stuff is so recessive. It takes a lot of work. Like I did a lot of S1 work with I S1 everything, but Skittles, we've done a lot of S1s that we basically, I abandoned. There was nothing better than Skittles in the S1.
Yeah.
Like literally there's nothing better. But then even like, it's a pain in the ass to reverse. It's a pain in the ass to work with. It's easier to put other things on it and then take seeds from that and then work with them. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
I love it. I love everything.
Part of it is I want to fem it. It's to itself too. So just see what happens with that too.
Yeah. I'll give you some of the S1s.
Okay.
Yeah, you can mess with those. But yeah, I was never happy with anything. It was all diet Skittles. So, and there was some Jack in there. We found Jack's expressions, like straight up Jack Herrera. Like
that's
you
cool.
Squeeze it and you're like, how does this come out of that?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, pretty wild.
And then we have a few genetics in our lineup that we've either pheno hunted or I did some of the breeding that are just like staples in our line. We got this Lemon Royale that Swamp Boys put out that we just pheno hunted and found like a super winner that dumps for washing.
Nice.
I have a retail customer that comes to my store and just swears that it's the only cannabis that he's ever found that helps for his PTSD from, he's like a Vietnam vet.
Wow.
And like, so literally him and his wife they like live 4 hours away and drive to my dispensary to buy this Lemon Royale flower and just like swears that it's the only thing that works for him. And so that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And then we have the Strawberry Pop, which is like that red pop line that Exotic Genetics put out.
I know all about it. Yeah.
There's some good stuff. I got 3 strains out of that run of crosses that are just fire. Yeah. Fire. We got the Strawberry Pop, which was the runts reversal to red pop. We just won 2nd place for Sun Grown at the MJ Bowl with that entry.
Yeah, the red runts, which was runts with the red pop. And so that is one of my favorite things in the whole world. I did some breeding with apples and bananas and red pop. At one point, I did some seed production actually for that. And the stuff that came from that was better than the red pop. The red pop by itself is okay.
I've never even seen it by itself, but just these crosses came out great.
The crosses are epic, right? And that red runs from Exotic is just everything I love about candy and dessert. And so it's a soda profile, right? And it was like but it would come across through the smoke. Whereas I feel like red pop by itself was like amazing. It smelled like cherry cola almost, right? And it has this amazing nose on it, like almost effervescent cherry cola. And then Mike crossed it with the runts, and that red runts is like, okay, it's got the cherry cola. The pheno I smoked up in Washington, it was like cherry cola, runtsy, like all the way down to the roach, and it was just this amazing smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. Our pheno, it is the red runts, but we call it Strawberry Pop just because it smells like a fresh bag of strawberry. Like it's way more strawberry terp than like strawberry cough or anything. Yeah. Dominates. Like
little, like the purple punchy kind of a little bit like the best part of the purple punch with runts and all those things together. Yeah. I love it.
And then at the GMO red pop, we got 2 amazing, totally different phenos out of that. We got one that's super GMO dominant gassy.
Yep.
And we got this other one that's the red pop. And that one we call raspberry cream just because it smells like raspberry cream pie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done some really good work. I feel like some of those exotic genetic strains, the Grease Monkey stuff was incredible too. I love Grease Monkey. I've done some work with it as well.
Yeah, we still have the Falcon 9x Grease Monkey. We call it the Gas Monkey.
That's awesome.
We still keep that around. And a lot of the things we keep around that are awesome weed, but like that one in particular only tests like low 20s, mid 20s on THC. So like I'm not really like growing it, but it's such a great plant and tastes great that like I want to keep it for when the days come that people don't buy cannabis based on THC percentages, which is So annoying.
It's so annoying. It's well, and to someone who's a consumer that smokes regularly, it's like we never looked at THC percentage back in the day. It was all on the other attributes.
Totally.
And then people are so fixated on these high THC numbers, and a lot of the best stuff doesn't test above 25.
Yeah.
There's a handful of things that do for sure. And there's, and you can get stuff, it's depending on the lab too. Those things need to get regulated.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest on government oversight on stuff, but I definitely think we need more government oversight on testing. There needs to be testing standards. All the labs should have similar results.
Yep.
Like you send it to one place. And I know we're working on it, right? I feel like that's one of the things that people are trying to work on. And who benefits that the most is the customer.
Yeah.
Right. And then once we can get away from THC numbers, we can go back to like, how does it make you feel? How does it taste? All those things. Because even the way it looks doesn't matter to me that much. But as a consumer, I know you want it to look amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say just do away with potency testing altogether and just do the pest. I mean, that's the only thing I care about for testing. If I was going to smoke someone else's herb is like, I just want to make sure there's no pesticides in it.
Right.
I want to make sure it's clean.
Totally.
I don't care about potency. Terps are interesting. I always pay the extra $40 per test to get the terpene test for all my stuff, just so we can kind of start to understand more of that. Yeah. But potency is just like the least important part to me.
But it's really interesting with, so they did a VOC test over at the Connect community. We did a battle royale in Vegas. And so they had Grove Bags doing VOC testing. And it's funny because some of the organic compounds that basically are volatile, that are getting pushed up, some of the stuff is testing because the stuff that was the highest testing in VOCs wasn't the loudest.
Yeah.
So all terpenes aren't created equal. So certain terpenes, we perceive them differently than other terpenes in loudness.
Yeah. Just for everybody knows, what do you mean by VOC?
Volatile organic compounds, right? And so we got these volatile organic compounds. They're measuring them. They have a testing kit. And I was thinking, man, this is cool. We're going to see what the loudest thing is. And the VOCs that tested the highest, I can't remember who it was. Sergio will let you know. But it's funny because it was good. It was really loud, but it wasn't as loud as some of the other entries where, like, as far as on the nose, I was like, damn, this stuff burns my nose. There was some amazing entries. We got second place with the lemon, the L3MON. That was a good one. That was number 10.
I smoked like 3 or 4. I couldn't smoke all 18. I didn't smoke it, but I literally smoked one that tastes like the lemon royale. I was like, wow, this is like super, like this is like my weed in these joints, but it's not. So that one was really good. That must have been your entry. Yeah. And then we smoked one that tasted like the strawberry pop. So it's pretty wild. Nice. Like 2 in a row. We're like, I have these 2 terp profiles in my lineup of cultivars.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But that was an awesome party, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean,
I never knew you were quite the chef or such the chef.
Thank you. Yeah. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy doing it for my friends more so than cooking professionally. Like, I don't want to go back working in the kitchens. Yeah. It's not that I don't love it but it's a 24/7 thing. And I really enjoy cannabis, really being on the cusp of what we're doing with this industry. And when I can cook for my friends, it's just such a fun thing to be able to feed people and to get people to experience new things. We did the whole caviar. There's a lot of people that never had caviar in their life.
I've never had a caviar, and I'm vegan, but I had to try it.
That's awesome. I mean,
with that spray. Right.
Yeah, and so in true terpenes, it's like we work with them, and they were like, "Do you want to incorporate some terpenes in the dinner?" And I was like, "I would love to. Let me come up with something." And so basically, I made a bunch of atomizers with different infusions and different concentrations of all their terpenes, and with ethanol. And so then I got you get the caviar out, and I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody like ate some caviar and instead of like chasing it with something, we did the aromatic sensory experience. Yeah. And so it was a lot of fun. Terpenes loved it. I think all the guests were like blown away by it. I was blown away by it. I'd seen all these people excited about something that we created together as a group. And, you put a bunch of smart people together in the room. It's like with Sergio, and then they were doing the Roll Pros guys. They had their joints. I love their joints. They were there. And then Jack Grover helped me out with the dinner. Awesome. Lifesaver. And then my friend is a chef at the Wynn. So Chef Ricky, he's at the Wynn. He crushes it. Like he helped me pull that off, and nobody even saw him. He was in the back cooking, bringing all the food out, and we went through a lot of food. We had salmon, we had tuna, we had Wagyu from Snake River Farms.
Yeah.
So
It was quite the spread. Yeah. And there was a lot of people there. It was great.
Yeah. And I love handing the food to people. Like it's one thing, like putting a whole bunch of food out there, everybody eats it. But one thing when you get there's something special about being able to hand a hand roll that you made right in front of them to them.
Yeah.
I feel like, it's part of the whole experience. And that house was just like next level.
Yeah, it was epic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's funny coming back from MJ Biz. Everyone's like, BizCon is dead and blah, blah, blah. Just like talking negative. It's like, well, yeah, that's all true. But like, where do you get to connect with everybody you know in the industry in Vegas? It's fun. I mean, I had a great time. I had no reason to be at MJ BizCon other than to get the award for the bowl. But it's not so much about going to BizCon. It's just about seeing everybody and hanging out and networking. So.
I like Las Vegas once a year. And
exactly.
I can do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not a big Vegas guy normally, but I do enjoy the food and all this stuff. Like once a year, I get my Vegas fix, and I don't need to go back till next year. But I enjoy MJ Biz for what it is.
Yep.
All the parties, and it's really all the parties is where I do my work at too.
Exactly.
It's like meeting people. I think it was much better doing a party than it would be to have a booth at MJ for us.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
So and then you got one of the MJ awards for the flower, right?
Yep. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. Just got one free entry because of being part of the Growers Association. So I was like, all right, we'll throw one entry in. Didn't expect anything, and then got
it's awesome.
The second place. So that was cool.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vegas this time, it wasn't as cold as it was last year. Like last year was freezing cold, and we did the party last year. Next year, I got some ideas on what we're going to do. Hopefully, with the same house.
House is epic.
The house is epic. Yeah, the Phyllis McGuire mansion from the McGuire sisters. She is a singer, but like the last 6 presidents have been at that house.
Oh wow.
And then like obviously like Frank Sinatra, Rat Pack. It still has that Rat Pack vibe to it. It feels like it hasn't been redecorated since like the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, totally.
But the whole downstairs is like a whole nother level. They have they have an amazing area down there for performances and stuff like that. So if we do it at the same spot, we're having some performances.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. Keep me posted.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a great time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to Germany next year too. I don't know if you're going to go.
I didn't get to go to that last event in Germany, but it sounded like it's epic. I got to check it out.
You got to go. You got to go. And then I'm doing a boot camp. We're going to be doing a boot camp the day before the venue. We still haven't secured the location yet, but we're going to do a boot camp and do another Connect dinner. Okay. That's the plan as of right now. So I'm super excited to do another dinner, get some chefs over in Germany to cook with me. We'll feed the people again, and cool. Have a battle royale hopefully with the local flour.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's crazy that you can't survive in cannabis by selling your weed to the East Coast anymore. You got to start going across oceans.
Seriously,
it's a trip.
Well, and even genetics, like I can't just rest knowing that I'm going to be okay selling locally in the US, so we're working in Germany, we're working in South America, all the genetics are going everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be doing licensing deals all over. We're talking to our friends in Thailand, Australia, and Germany on how we can get our genetics into their scene over there and how they can help promote our brands. Cause it's like there's oversaturation in the US, but I think there's still hope on a global scale.
Totally. Yeah. And seeds are the number one way to get there too. Like they can ship anywhere.
They're still legal, knock on wood, which I'm not worried about it, to be 100% honest. It's the enforcement part's going to be really difficult. The way it's written now isn't great, but we still have a year.
Yeah, totally. I mean, even with my nursery, it's rudimentaries. I just started putting plants online. I mean, there's no THC in them. It's just a live plant. So if someone wants to order it from Vermont, sure, I'll send you a plant.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's like either non-detect or very little cannabinoids, and there might be a little percentage in there, but it's not something that's going to test hot.
Yeah. So kind of going to push the barriers, like we didn't get here today by being cannabis growers that followed all the rules. So it's like you got to know where you got to like flex and take the chances and push the envelope. Which
risks to take and which ones not to take, because there's definitely some you definitely don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
And then, but like seeds and clones, and it's like seeds, man, that's just... We've come so far to take step backwards with seeds, especially. It's like people used to go to prison for seeds, and now they're like pretty much globally accepted as legal.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I've sent some to Japan.
Yeah,
they got there, thankfully.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's seeds in pretty much every continent minus Antarctica, I think.
Right.
And there's probably something that we don't know about there.
Yeah.
So
maybe they got some Madanuska thunderfuck up there. Or
yeah,
something.
Seriously.
The old Alaskan strain. That was like the only strain you ever hear that came out of Alaska's.
Right.
Matanuska Thunderfuck.
Yeah, the Alaskan Thunderfuck and the Matanuska Thunderfuck, and they
Yeah.
got. I mean, I think they're doing a lot of big things up there too. So they're legal up there.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if they're legal as far as recreational or adult use, but I definitely know they're medical.
I think it might be adult use, but I'm not 100% sure either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be. I don't know what else you're going to do up there when it's all so isolated.
Yeah. Give some people some weed. Especially when it's like light 24 hours a day. I need some
Totally.
weed to like go to sleep or something.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me about your shop. How'd that get started?
That was a process. So I tried to open a dispensary. I probably started the process around 2010 before there was like regulation. So it would have been a Prop 215 nonprofit collective. And then literally Kevin Drodgery got his dispensary in Southern Humboldt, got approved and got to open. And then I was the next in line. And then all this talk about legalization was coming. And so they put a pause where they wouldn't permit any more dispensaries. And so literally 7 years later, my store opened. And so I was like kind of curious. I went back to the paperwork. So from the day that I signed my first application to the day that my store opened was exactly 7 years to the day. So it was quite the process to get it
Nice.
open. Yeah. So now we've been there 7 years.
Wow.
And so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. How much has it changed from medical to the 215 days to now? How's the vibe?
I wasn't able to open
right.
until the 215 days. I got roadblocked right before I got the chance to open. But I can comment on a couple of huge differences is the clone sales in Humboldt. I mean, back in the day, HPRC and even Kevin's shop, I can't remember what it was originally called in Redway. They were just selling thousands and thousands and thousands of clones out the door every month,
right,
for everybody to grow. And that changed a lot because no one's growing on that scale that they were growing back then, and you can only sell 6 plants out of a door. Plus, like everything has to be prepackaged. There's just so much like.
The Wonderland Nursery killed it.
Yeah, Wonderland, exactly. That was the name of his store. Yeah. So he opened that, and then I was supposed to be the next in line to get open. And we're an hour and a half apart, so we weren't really competition. But I got roadblocked and then had to wait for the legalization. And so, but it's cool. I mean, retail kind of holds its own, does its own thing. Like I don't really do much with that. Like I let my staff run that. I got good managers. COVID, I hate to say it, was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's
but
blessing
it's
and a curse
off.
though.
Yeah,
it's one of those good things. I think it was tough for a lot of people. Our industry, if you weren't doing well during COVID, you probably should be doing something else.
Yeah.
It's like we were a necessity.
Well, yeah, that's was wild. So like a new like brew house or something, like a bar had opened like 2 blocks away from us, like literally like 2 days or a month before COVID happened. Right. And it happened during Spanibus. So I had my flight to go to Spanibus. I'd never been. And we were debating on whether to take the flight or not. And literally like the day after we missed our flight, the whole world shut down because of COVID. So I never made it to Spain or to Spanibus, and now they changed it. But so yeah, it was wild. So like a few days later, we got deemed an essential business for cannabis, but the bar down the road was closed. So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like we're more accepted than alcohol right now in terms of essential business. So
people got to have their medicine.
Yeah.
And
then we established like curbside service, which we are able to continue doing now because some people just prefer and know what they want.
Right.
So it helps encourage people to like look at the menu online and place their order before they come to the door. So, I mean, that part of it all was pretty cool, just to be like accepted as cannabis and deemed an essential business during the COVID time. But yeah. I
mean, it's really cool that it could have gone the other way and it could have decimated our industry completely.
Yeah.
Instead, it really elevated a lot of people that were doing it. The ones that didn't scale too much are still doing really well. Some of them.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, the industry did really well and it was booming. It was great. Everyone was all smiles other than we were under the mask.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, it was wild. And then people got used to ordering delivery service, right? So with food, with flour, it's now very common for people to use Uber Eats and DoorDash and all these things. And I think if COVID wouldn't have happened, people wouldn't be as comfortable. They want to go eat in restaurants, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
I love the interaction. I love going to restaurants with friends and family and getting that social experience.
Totally.
I also like cooking food at home. So like if I'm going to eat at home, I'd rather make the food that I'm going to eat because I feel like it's typically healthier.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, sushi to go wasn't a thing really before COVID. And now it's like totally a booming industry.
Yeah. Everything like that. Yeah. It's pretty wild how it changed like culture and
mindset, culture. And the kids born before COVID, it's very different mindset than the ones born after.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And hopefully regulations get better. Like, retail was good during COVID. Post COVID, retail's just been a huge struggle. Like that's the biggest problem that I've had is like I was scaling up. I had confidence in my business and knowing how to in the brand and marketing and know-how. So like we're getting into all these retail doors, and then your invoice is due and they're not paying us. So it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars I just had to walk away from. So it's like I'm not growing cannabis to cost me money and lose everything that I've worked so hard for. And that's just kind of the state of where it's at. Like, and I have a retail store, so I can understand like we're so taxed, the excise tax, even though the consumer pays that, you're supposed to be collecting that. But a lot of people just aren't smart enough with budgeting to make sure they're getting that segmented and just all the expenses. And we're overtaxed from insurance to everything. And so like retailers don't have money, when they're paying $10 a square foot to have a store in San Francisco, like that's just too much money.
Too much money.
Just too much overhead.
Yeah.
And everybody thought it was going to be amazing. And it's like, there's like in Eureka, there's like 20 dispensaries and that's like a town of 15,000 people. Like one guy just closed, but another one's opening up. And it's like, there's just it was like kind of like skate shops, skate shops don't usually last too long. There's like some legacy shops in certain cities that like have made it through the storm and will be there. But a lot of times in these smaller towns and other cities, it's like a rotating door. Like there's a new skate shop. Then they go to business and then another person tries to open a shop. And with cannabis, it's just like a bigger version of that where like, people go all in thinking it's going to be this great business and then realize that selling cannabis at an extremely taxed price isn't necessarily going to be that successful because a lot of people can still get it from their homies with no tax. Yeah.
I don't think it's a business to jump in, especially this day and time, that if you're here to make money, you're going to be lucky to survive. Like if you're surviving right now, and most of the people that I'm friends with that are in it because they wouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah. And I wouldn't know what else to do.
It's not something you jump in to go, I'm going to get rich real quick.
Yeah.
Right. It's very rare that happens. It still might happen here and there, but it's mostly the picks and the shovels, the guys on the side that come up with something creative. It's not the cultivators anymore. We're not rock stars anymore. We're farmers.
Yep.
We're people that love what we do, though. I feel like there's more passion in this industry than almost all the other industries out there. I think kitchens, the same thing. Guys that are chefs, cooks, you also have to be very passionate about what you do and love what you do to do it every day.
Yeah. Because that process of producing that food or that cannabis is like a whole process to how good it is when you put it on the table.
Right.
And so you got to care about it. You got to be putting the most energy and good intentions into it.
Starts with the genetics, but it's also, and then it's the experience, right? So you're providing experience for somebody. And
yeah. And then there's all the inputs and the whole variety of different inputs and takes on that methodology of how people grow. So,
right. Yeah. There's arguments to be said for everything. Some guys, the soil guys say soil is the only way to go. The guys that are salt guys are like, but my weed's stronger or my weed tastes better, which is not necessarily true. And then there's cocoa, and there's so many different ways to grow, and there's so many great ways to grow. I still feel it's more about the cultivator than anything else, because I feel like a great cultivator can probably go in any substrate better than most of the guys out there.
Yeah, I think so. And then knowing what to use, when to use it, and whether it's organic or salts. I've always preferred soil and organics predominantly, but
I like the one thing I can say about organics is I like the effect more. Right? There's one thing I can't argue about. Whether, like I like cocoa too. I like cocoa and all these things, but like organic living soil, I feel like the effect a lot of times is more of the effect that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I do, you can get great flavor out of cocoa. You can get great flavor. You can get great effect out of cocoa, but is living soil the very best living soil versus the very best cocoa versus the very best rock wool? I think the one thing that's going to stand out is probably the effect with the soil the most.
Yeah, totally.
It might not look the best, but The thing is,
You can
like
get the look. You might not
can.
get the girth chunk without the PGRs and stuff, and the
Sure.
salts will give you that. But I don't think you could. I don't believe that the best even salt growers, they got to use some organic, like some carbohydrates. Like when I was growing indoor, my motto was sugar over salts. Like you got to have some sucrose or molasses or some kind of carbohydrate sugar to balance that salt out. Because even with food, almost every dish has salt and sugar in it.
Yeah.
So you have to balance that to get the best flavor.
I agree. But I don't consider the way the flour looks that important to me. Like for me personally, I want it to smoke amazing in the sense that it gives me this effect that I'm looking for and it tastes absolutely incredible. Those are the things that I want. And, you know, and more some of the stuff that we're pheno hunting that I used to get rid of. Now I'm like, well, I don't care what it looks like. We're going to put it in joints. Or my guys that do cultivation, we're going to roll it up in the roll pros or whatever, and people will never see the flour, and maybe we'll never even sell the flour, right? And it'll just be in joints, and people aren't going to care because it tastes so freaking good and it makes them feel good.
Yeah, and I think the nose is the precursor to that. Like you can tell by the nose.
You can usually tell, you can tell. A lot of times it's like the start with that nose, but some of the flowers can, it's deceiving where you smell it and it's like, okay, well, it smells okay. Then you smell it and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Or the opposite happens a lot more so than the other way, where it like smells incredible and you go to light it up and it's like, oh, just such a letdown.
Yeah. A lot of this indoor I see out there that's top shelf and expensive on retail level, like, doesn't have terps. You know, it's cardboard terps. I don't know. It looks great. It's got bag appeal, but when I go for the nose, and then I don't get the taste, and it's like,
it can be genetics. It can be a number of things for sure. Like Purple Punch is one of those ones. Like I like the way it grows. I like the way it looks, but the way it smokes is cardboard terps. Like it doesn't even really taste like anything. If you smoke a joint of it, you might get a little bit of flavor. The only way you get flavor out of it is with rosin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you want to check out some terps? I brought a couple jars.
Let's do it.
So this is the one that's the red pop dominant. And then this is the other one that is the GMO dominant.
Oh, I love that terp. It's great.
Yeah, that is just sweet raspberries.
It's just sweet, subtle raspberries. But it's not overly fruity. Still has a weed smell to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good thing about all this red pop genetics that Mike crossed with, they all won. They're winning on all levels. Like the potency's great. The yields are good. The terps are good. Like they all dump. All these phenos dump for rosin.
Yep.
So we're stoked. But yeah, when I was at Terpnomy and at the 12J's events over the weekend, just showing people, hey, these 2 jars are the same seed pack. Yeah, and we're like, what? That's crazy. You get that much difference out of one seed pack? You're like, you can, yeah.
Most of the time.
Exactly.
Most of the time you get more. Yeah. But even there's similarities, but
and it's rare that we find 2 winners because when I pop seeds, I don't even pop the whole pack usually. I want to do like 5 to 10 tops of one thing. Yeah. I'm not going to go hunt 100 of the same seed at one time. I might do that over time, but I want to have a more narrow focus at first.
It just depends on if I know the line or if I don't know the line. I might pop 50 because a lot of times I want the best of 50, but also I don't want someone who buys my seeds to have a better pheno than I have of it. Dude. Like, so that's my fear is like, I always have that fear, like, man, I got to find that winner. I'll pop 50 and then I'll go through them. And if I really like it, and I'm like, there's something I'll want to sell a clone of that's really good. We'll go through another 100, 150 sometimes. Yeah. It's just depending on how well I know the line and what's in there. Like,
well, I always give the cuts back to anyone that created the seeds. I'm all about that.
I think a lot of people will buy my seeds and then rename them as other things, which is fine. Like, I mean, once you buy the seeds, it's like, you should be giving the breeder credit for them, but it doesn't always happen. The one thing that bothers me is when I give people free seeds and then they use the cross instead of the name that I gave it and they breed with it and then put the cross on there. I'm like, I gave you those. You know, that's it's kind of weird. Yeah. Kind of weird, but like, you know, I think let stuff go
respect. Too. Like I'll rename some stuff here and there. Like I guess technically these aren't the red runs because these weren't the runts runs, but we still give the breeder credit if I change the name and like on our strain list, we always list who the breeder is and stuff. So
nice.
I usually wouldn't change the name without them knowing, but it's like, oh, we found this this like unique, pheno of it, and it just this name screams it. So like,
I think that's the best way, because how do you differentiate the phenotypes? The problem with wedding cake was everyone was calling wedding cake got a little bit of a bad rap for a little bit because they had seeds of it, and there's 30 different phenos.
Right.
There was an amazing wedding cake pheno that's still around, that's still amazing, that smokes freaking fantastic. It's like bready and gassy, and it yields. It's not the biggest yielding wedding cake, but it still yields really well. But there were so many different phenos that it got a bad rap.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how ice cream cake is now. There's just so many different phenos.
Dude, but the real ice cream cake is so good in rosin. And so, I mean, it's another one. I'll smoke it. It's one of those ones I enjoy the smoke. But yeah, it got so overgrown. Like Cushman's is now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So especially up in Humboldt, like they had so many units of Cushman's.
There's another good one. I do a lot of stuff with Symbiotic. They give me a lot of their stuff to test out. So
they do really good work.
That's the GMO Gassy Taffy, number 7. I flowered out 3 different phenos of that this summer, and like that was the keeper. The other 2 just weren't even in the ballpark, so I let them go. But
I bet this washes too.
Yeah, I mean that is
it has that feel to the bud.
Garlicky onion gas.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other thing from them, which I was pretty stoked on, is their super lemon haze times mimosa. That is some nostalgia weed right there. I still have an original mimosa pack. Oh yeah, nice. I need to pop it before too much longer. I mean, I'm sure it's worth a ton of money. Like those are it's part of my collection, but yeah, I let the mimosa go. I had like 2 different phenos of it. Out of all these, this is the one that my nose is like, whoa, but they're all good. Yeah. But man, that haze just always just, and it's astringent, nose burning, but like not too much haze to where like, some of them are like, I know it's going to make my heart race. This one, I feel like it's just going to taste good all the way down to the roach. Yeah, it really does. I'll leave you some of it. Yeah. So yeah, it's just fun playing with plants. Yeah. Yeah. So where do you see this industry going in the next 5 years? Who knows? I mean, I just see myself continue to do what I'm doing, trying to grow good cannabis, have fun with the plants, and hopefully federal legalization was happen, or at least decriminalization or descheduling. Descheduling would be the best. If descheduling happens, it'd give everybody that's in cannabis, I think, at least a window of opportunity to like get on their good feet again. Like, I had my property paid for, I refinanced it. I got into debt to try and, be in this cannabis business, and it backfired on me because now I'm barely surviving. Me and you both. All this overhead, having to walk away from projects, having to walk away from buildings and facilities. Just, it's been a rough road, but I'm always trying to stay positive and see that, life's what we make it, and there's going to be an opportunity. You just got to find it and be patient and navigate till then. So hopefully if they deschedule, then we can go, at least over state lines. And I think California is obviously, especially for sun-grown, the best cannabis, best place to grow cannabis because of the latitude, longitude, altitude, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think Emerald Triangle all the way up into Oregon, there's amazing outdoor climate. Like it's the best in the world. Southern Oregon, Applegate Valley, they got good climate too, for sure. So, really then incredible. I think it's just like we'll have opportunity for a while until like the Marlboros come in and do what they're doing in Southern California already, growing 50 acres of booth. Yeah, and they can do their own thing. It's I think there's always going to be a demand. And in fact, I think there's going to be even more of a demand for Humboldt grown around the world once it opens to international export. Totally. People want Humboldt. Yeah. People know Humboldt. They know it in Jamaica. Like that was the one word that they knew in Jamaica when I was there in 2000 was Humboldt. Yeah. They'd heard Humboldt before. Yeah. Now, Cali weed wasn't even a thing. They were like, Humboldt. We know Humboldt. And and I mean, there's going to be demand for it all over, especially the sun-grown. Once people start understanding that like sun-grown is some of the best in the world and you can actually experience it. Once you experience it, then you're like, oh, yeah, I really do like this stuff. Yeah. Most people never actually get to try the best outdoor in the world. And if they did, they'd be like, oh yeah, outdoor is just as good as indoor. Totally. Right. And so maybe it doesn't look as good. Maybe, maybe that it doesn't check some of these boxes, but as far as flavor and effect, it can be the best. Yep. I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. Even myself, I mean, when I was growing indoor, I would grow the same strains indoor and outdoor, and I'd always prefer to smoke the outdoor. Yeah. Usually. Some strains varies, but. Yeah, for sure. I think some genetics, they're meant to be grown indoors and some are meant to be outdoors, but I feel like
another thing, it just goes back to the cultivator. Like some cultivators just kill it. And the ones that do the best work outdoors, it's exceptional. Like Mark.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, and other guys, there's a handful of other guys. Some of the stuff Mean Gene gave me was just incredible. You know,
Awesome.
he had a sour cross that was super sour. He like nose was like what I love about sour.
Yeah, everybody's hunting for sour right now. Everybody wants sours.
And not a lot of people have it. Budgelero, Dave Perkins from Budgelero, they're doing those long flowering varieties.
Yeah.
His sour is incredible, but also everything he's doing, he's got a Band-Aid haze. He just gave me some Band-Aid haze times pearls.
Wow.
And that stuff is like, it's one of those ones where like I only need to smoke pinners of most of his joints.
Yeah. And he's doing all those crazy landrace 12-weeker strains. Yeah.
14 to 22.
Yeah.
I mean,
God bless the man for doing that work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one else is doing it.
Yeah.
No one else wants to go that long. And I feel like there's something special. And when stores are trying to sell sativa, they should be selling Budgelero, right?
Yeah.
When that's a real sativa.
Totally.
I don't like using the word sativa, but if we're going to use it, that's what it should be defined as. Not Blue Dream, even though Blue Dream is like leaning.
Yeah.
So, but if you want the real sativa effect, even though it's a morphology, that's what you want is a really long flowering, the terpenolines, but even like the Durbans and some of the African, it's not super terpenoline. Some of them like musky.
Yeah. I remember years ago, I got some seeds from India, and man, we tried to grow this outdoor and it just wouldn't finish. Like I even put like a pop-up tent over it. It was like December and that thing was still not even like flower developed. It's like,
wow,
gotta have the right place to grow those
certain
land
things.
racers.
My buddy grew from Peruvian landrace seeds, and they were going into January. It was like just not finishing.
Yeah.
So, but there are there are places for those things that'll grow really well. Certain climates and
I think Southern California because they have a totally different climate, like around Santa Barbara area.
Yeah, Santa Barbara down to San Diego even.
Totally.
Like there's some good, but San Diego is hot. That's the only problem with San Diego, man. It can get 120 degrees.
Yeah.
So hot that the seeds start popping in the plants when people are making seeds.
Oh shit!
That's when you know it's bad.
That's when you know it's not working.
Yeah, that doesn't work for anything. That was I think it was in 2021 that it got 120 degrees.
Damn.
So if you had one piece of advice for your younger self, what would that one piece of advice be?
Man, to invest the money I was making when I was younger better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Otherwise, I had a lot of fun and don't have much regrets. But when I was making money, I was spending money more than investing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Some guys are good at investing money and some guys are good at spending money. And there's a balance, right? So like, because I feel like also money's value is in its use and not its possession. So you can take money and you can invest it, but also you want to be able to experience life. Like there's something you can be missing out on if you don't experience life fully.
Yeah, totally.
So like it's such a weird balance because you do want to invest it and you want to have money for when you're older. You want to be able to retire, all these things, and to be able to make moves. And I think money used correctly, you can do both.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's part of it that money can allow you to enjoy life on a different level.
Yeah.
But some people, all they do is save, and they never get to fully enjoy it. And then that's a sad part too.
Yeah. I mean, there's no fun in that because money at the end of the day is worthless, if you're not using it the right way and having fun. And that was like the best part about, being in the skateboard industry and got to travel the world to bring, skateboarding and my pro team to different parts, like, South Korea, Japan, China. I've been to all these countries just because of skateboarding. So that was pretty awesome. And so yeah, no regrets, but like I said, back before the 2008 economy crash, it was so cheap to get a house,
So cheap.
If I could have just bought like 3 or 4 houses back then, I'd be a lot better off today probably.
Well,
but
even pre-2015, right? Yeah. Chicago was a mess, right? If I would have bought houses like some people that I know for $10,000 or $15,000 and got like 10 of them, those houses are all worth like $1 million today.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not into like stock market. Real estate, something tangible.
Yeah.
I get it. And there's no more ground on the earth. So it's like always going to go up. There's waves. It goes up, down, goes up, down.
Sure.
But in the span of 10 to 20 years, it's going up.
Real estate's good.
Yeah.
It's a good investment for sure.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Good stuff. So if people are looking to find out more about you, more about your shop, more about your clones, where's the best places to go?
I guess probably the internet, like their websites more so than Instagram. I don't do too much Instagram, but like we have Rudimentaries, which is the nursery. And all these are our websites too, rudimentaries.com. You can learn about the clones and nursery, the business there. And then talkingtreesfarms.com is the website for the brand. And Satori movement.com is my skateboard and hemp apparel website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Well, it's been fun having you on the show. I'm going to be coming up in 2026 doing farm tours, and I'd love to go around to some of the farms that you guys have, check out your nursery, and help promote you guys.
Yeah. Welcome anytime. Love to have you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe down below.